How are you?
Good. So last time I saw you, you gave me your 5-day food diary, and I entered it into my plate. It gave us some suggestions to help with your diet, and I printed this out, and it says per day you should have 7 ounces of greens, 3 cups of vegetables, 2 cups of fruits, 3 cups of dairy, and 6 ounces of proteins. You should also be physically active for at least 150 minutes a week, and your allowance for oils is 6 teaspoons a day, and limit calories from solid fats and added sugars to 270 calories a day. Reduce sodium intake to less than 2,300 milligrams a day as well. So I took your 5-day food diary and I put it all into this tally sheet, and it let us know kind of what you're over and under on as far as each food group. So you are under a little bit on milk and dairy, and a little over on meat and beans. You are under on fruits and vegetables and grains, and also fats, oils, and sweets. So some suggestions would be to make half your grains whole and vary your vegetables, like with different colors, reds, dark greens, beans, starchy vegetables. Focus on a variety of fruits, and for dairy, get calcium-rich foods, drink fat-free or low-fat milk, and for proteins, try to mix in some seafoods. I know you don't really like them, but maybe try different beans, peas, or nuts to add to that. So for your dietary screening and analysis, we decided that you should add about 1.5 cups more of milk or dairy to your daily intake, and you were good on meats and beans. You're a little over, but it's still okay. Your fruits, you were close to 2 cups. You might want to add like 1 more fruit during the day, maybe some blueberries, strawberries, something. Vegetables, you were under, so try to double up on your vegetables a day. Grains, I would say eat more whole grains. You are under almost by half, so try to add some grains to your lunch or dinner. And oils, you are at 4 teaspoons, and the recommendation is be under 6, so you're fine there. I had you fill this out to let us know what you think in your diet you thought was least nutritious, and you said ice cream because it has no nutritional value, so maybe try to stick to like frozen yogurt or something like that. Most decay-producing foods you said was bananas, which is right because it's very sticky and causes cavities pretty easily. Foods that are bad for you in your diet was ice cream again because it's very sugary and just empty calories, no nutritional value. You had quite a lot of processed foods in your diet, so try to stick with fresh fruits and vegetables, stick away from the frozen and canned stuff. You didn't have much that was high in fat or high in sodium, so that was okay there. I put together some recommendations for you for your diet to try, so there's some recipes and stuff there for you. You are pretty good in general health. You exercise weekly. The only medical condition you have is colitis, which is pretty well controlled with medications, no allergies. Your dental health, you don't really have many fillings, maybe 1. You brush with the electric toothbrush 1 to 2 times a day, and you have low caries, and you see the dentist regularly, which is good. I did notice that you are very busy. You are a full-time student, so your meals tend to be rushed. So what I recommend is try to prepare your meals, ahead of time, so you're not like going out and getting foods that aren't that great for you. So there is an effect of dental health with your overall health, so I'm just going to try to give you some facts that will help you out. Numerous research studies have shown a link between cardio disease and key bacterium and perio disease. Research has also shown that people with perio disease have more difficulty controlling their blood sugar levels, making diabetes hard to manage, and that perio disease can actually increase the risk of developing diabetes. So you want to stay away from any of those risks. We saw you for 3 different visits, and we kind of tallied up your plaque index and the way your gingival tissue looked. You did look pretty good throughout all 3 visits. I did notice that things started to get better once we kind of talked about it and wrote things down, that you were doing a better job, so that's good there. This is kind of some of effects of dental decay and the foods that you're eating. The relationship between diet and dental decay has been well established. Fermentable carbs and bacterial plaque interact to form an acid, which demineralizes a susceptible tooth surface. Therefore, there are 3 ways in which to minimize the risk of decay. Build up the strength of your tooth with a well-balanced diet, fluoridated water, and topical fluoride treatments. Clean your teeth thoroughly of plaque and debris using toothbrushing and flossing techniques. Decrease the frequency with which you eat fermentable carbs by limiting eating and drinking in between meals. Each time you eat food that contains sugar and starches, the teeth are attacked for acids for 20 minutes after. So you kind of want to stay away from snacking in between meals, because that just introduces the acid to your teeth. Nutritional deficiencies do not cause perio disease directly, but can play an important role in the body's immune system to perio infections and the healing process. Good nutrition promotes the maintenance of perio tissues, immunity, and resistance to infection. So for your dental caries risk assessment, we took all the foods and liquids that you eat and drink for the 5 days. For liquids, it looks like we pretty much only had flavored yogurt and ice cream that was, you kind of had water for drinks, so you didn't have much for sugary drinks and solids and sticky foods with bananas. So you fell into between low and moderate risk for caries. So you really aren't too bad. For your decay promoting worksheet, you had liquids mostly with meals, which was good, not much between meals. You did have some solid foods between meals as snacks, so that put you at only 24 minutes a day that your teeth are exposed to acid, which is fairly good. For your dietary risk assessment for health management, your cholesterol was under 300 milligrams a day, which is good. Saturated fat, they recommend to keep the total 10% calorie intake, and you are at 8, so that's good. Polyunsaturated fat, you don't eat fish, so you don't really get much of that, so you may want to try something else for polyunsaturated fat as far as fish goes, but for vegetables, you were good. A monounsaturated fat, you had 14%, and they recommend less than 30, so continue snacking on almonds and peanut butter. Hydrogenated fat, you want to avoid as much as you can, avoid processed foods using shortening and baking. Sodium, they recommend less than 2,400 milligrams a day, and you are under at 1,946. So avoid the salty foods, keep up the current habits, and you should be good. So we'll check on you next visit.
Thank you.
Thank you.